especially honored to welcome today's resource person, Professor Vijayalakshmi Ramesh, Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator, Department of Statistics, Brindavan College, Bangalore, Karnataka. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Radhika.
Okay. Now let me introduce today's guest speaker and resource speaker, Professor Vijayalakshmi Ramesh, the Vice Principal of Vrindavan College. She has vast teaching experience in statistics for more than 27 years for the UG and PG programs and more than 50 different country students. Committed a statistician with a passion for data and information. Very active in extracurricular and co-curricular activities, resource person for faculty development programs, member of University Board of Examiner in the universities, arranging national level cultural activities, question paper sector for the universities and also for many autonomous universities. She has been coordinating internal quality assurance cell to NAC work. She also has experience as a consultant, advisor, and board member for many private organizations, performing general data collection, analysis, and presentation, turning raw data into meaningful information by analyzing patterns, producing reports based on findings, and presenting them to management decisions. So, today's her section is on the topic predictive analysis. So, I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Radhika. And first of all, before starting my presentation, I would like to congratulate the mathematics department and the head of the department, Professor Rajan, and his staff members for organizing this wonderful 5-day national webinar on mathematical and statistical tools at applied level. Because in this pandemic COVID-19 situation, we can help the students community only in this way. I want to thank Yuvakshetra Institute of Management Studies and the management members, principal and zonal committee members, organizing committee members, and the program coordinator and the advisor, Dr. Veera Kumar, for giving me an opportunity to become a resource person for your national level webinar. Today, I'm immensely happy to give this presentation because in this pandemic COVID-19 situation, I can help the students community in this way. So we speak today, we discuss about predictive analysis, or you can say predictive analytics. So first of all, we just discussed that what is all this predictive analytics? Predictive analytics is a category of a data analytics aimed at making predictions about future outcomes based on historical data and analytic techniques. See what happened, we have to study what has happened in the history data, the old data, and then what is happening right now in the current data, and then make a statistical model and reaching out to predicting for the future. What happened and what is happening now, the current data, and what is going to happen in future. So we are predicting the analytics. Now, for example, this pandemic, what we are all going through all over the world, the pandemic COVID-19 cases, when it started in January, it started, that data we can take. And then the current data, now what is happening right now in our country or in all over the world, then what will be the situation in this COVID-19 in the 2021, that is 2021, what will be the situation? This we can analyze through this predictive analytics. So predictive analytics is a category of a data analytics aimed at making predictions, means you are making the predictions, assumptions, estimation for the future outcomes based on the historical data and the analytic techniques. So now we'll discuss that how predictive analytics works. So predictive analytics uses many techniques from data mining, statistics, modeling, machine learning, artificial intelligence to analyze current data to make prediction about the future. Means as already I told, we are collecting the historical data, make some analyzation using statistic tools, and then prepare a statistical model. Then come for the current data, analyze the data, then make a statistical model, and we are reaching into prediction analytics. And how this predictive modeling works? Predictive modeling is a process used in predictive analytics to create a statistical model of future behavior. Predictive analytics is the area of data mining concerned with forecasting probabilities and trends. And what is this in the predictive modeling? We are saying predictive modeling is nothing but the predictive analytics itself, and data mining. Data mining is defined as the process used to extract usable data from a larger set of raw data. Or in a simple words, many times we refer that data mining is known as knowledge discovery in data. Means we are collecting the data, customer data, then predictive analytics or data mining we are doing. So hence, using the statistical model, we are reaching into the predictive model. This is how the predictive analytics work. How this process takes place. So here first comes data collection, then you are analyzing that, and what is happening, we have to keep on monitoring that, apply some statistical tools, and then we are going for predictive analytics. As I said previously, what is happening, make a collection of a data, what happened and why that happened, we have to analyze. And then monitoring is nothing but what is happening right now, and then make some statistical models and reach and give the analysis of what is going to happen in the future. Based on that, we are taking an action. Again, collection of a data, analyzing of a data, and monitoring means observation of the data, and then reaching into the predictive analytics. So this is how this predictive analytics process goes on. Now this will discuss business process and some of the features. So business process in predictive modeling is, we have to create a model first, creating the model. From that, we are going for testing the model. And from that, we are going for validating the model. And then we have to evaluate the model. And some of the features in this predictive modeling are data analysis and manipulation, visualization, statistics, hypothesis, testing. How this model work? In predictive modeling, data is collected. For the relevant predictors, a statistical model is formulated. Predictions are made and the model is validated as additional data becomes available. The model may employ a simple linear equation or a complex neural network mapped out by sophisticated software. So what all this, how the model work, how the process we are doing? First of all, we have to correctly define our project where we need this predictive analytics. For that particular project, the relevant data collection should happen. After the data collection, we have to do the data analysis and then use some statistical tools and make a statistical modeling. Then you are reaching into deployment. This is how the process, the predictive analytics work. Okay, we are talking so much about predictive analytics and is nothing but the predictive modeling. Why we require this? Why predictive modeling? There are many reasons we can give nowadays. Each one sector, whether it is a business, whether it is an industry, all are using predictive modeling, predictive analytics. The very few points I will discuss here. Because why predictive modeling helps? We have to save the time, we have to save the money. That all can happen through predictive analytics. Means what happened and what is happening now. Based on that, you have to make a prediction about future. Unnecessarily, without making a plan, you are making some production or you are opening some outlets. It is no use like that. You have to study the background and then only you can start the new business or a new industry based on that what experience you have in the previously. So here I have pointed out some of the points. Nearly every business in a competitive market will eventually need to predict modeling to remain ahead of the curve. Because it is a very competitive world, we need to be compete with everyone. So predictive modeling is very, very important in any of the business if you take. And the predictive modeling is also known as a predictive analytics, is a process of automatically detecting pattern in data, then using these patterns to foretell some event. Predictive models are commonly built to predict. So what all it can predict, the predictive modeling I have listed out here, some namely, it can predict customer relation management. See, customer CRM, we say customer relation management is very, very important in any of the business sector or an industry. So how we can maintain a good relationship with the customer so that we can predict through this predictive analytics. And secondly, the chance to protect will respond to an ad. Means any advertisement we are giving, the how far they are responding to that, that also you can predict through this predictive modeling. And mail recipients likely to buy. You are advertising through the mail, you are requesting through the mail recipients to buy some product, how they can respond, how they will give for that, that also you can predict through this predictive modeling. And next, when a customer is likely to churn, means what? Company to company, how the customer is changing. So naturally they will change. Some other company is giving a more offer, all the customers naturally they will change. You can see in all the big market, big bazaar, whatever they are giving the offer, the competitor will give a better offer, then churning will happen. So when customer likely to churn, this also you can see the predict through this predictive analytics. And then also if a person likely to get a sick, so means in the working place, all the people are not same. They may feel sick, they may feel bored, that also you can predict through this predictive modeling. Similarly, portfolio or a product predictions also can be done. Risk management and pricing also can be done through the predictive modeling. And there is a huge benefit, but as I said, in all the sectors we are using the predictive analytics. Some of the benefits I will note here, benefits of a predictive analytics. Predictive analytics looks into the future more accurate and reliable than the previous tools. As such, it can help adopters find ways to save and earn money. And retailers often use predictive models to forecast inventory requirements, manage shipping schedules, and configure store layouts to maximize sales. See, again, retailers, what this point says is, retailers, for example, many of the retail shops, you can take an example. For example, sports items, a Decathlon store is there. They will open 100 showrooms are there in across Bangalore or across the country. And even more new outlets they want to open, they have to study, right? They have to take a back history, what has happened and currently what is happening. And then they have to give a predictive analytics to open the retail shop, the new Decathlon shop, whether in this area it is going to work or not. Based on that only they can do. Without analyzing that, if they open, if suppose that area people are not buying much of sports items, then that will be a bluff. Then it will be loss for them. So the retail often uses a predictive models to forecast inventory requirements, manage shipping schedules, and configure store layouts to maximize sales. And next, airlines frequently use predictive analytics to set the ticket prices reflecting the past travel trends. See what happens, airlines always, they will study our past travel, where we traveled, how many places, how much frequently we traveled, and currently what we are doing. All that, based on that analytics, they will make fixed pricing the ticket prices or whatever it is traveling trends, they will do according to the analytics. And similarly, these hotels, restaurants, and the other hospitality industry players can use the technology to forecast the number of guests on any given night in order to maximize the occupancy and revenue. Then coming to who is using this predictive analytics. See, any financial industry with a huge amount of data and money in stake has a long embraced predictive analytics to detect and reduce fraud. This is one of the major things why they use this predictive analytics, and the major credit risk, and maximize the cross-sell and upsell opportunities and retain valuable customers. See, any of the business on the industry, the retaining the valuable and the long-time customers are very, very important. So how you will retain them? You have to study that, what all the facilities you can give them, and how you increase the maximum cross-sell and upsell in any business or industry, and how to manage and how to reduce the fraud. Fraud is happening, too much crimes will be there, how to reduce that. That all you can use using the predictive analytics, and you can reduce the fraud in your industry or a business. So I have done some diagram here. The data collection can happen, and you can see there data mining, text mining, data mining, and statistical tools will be using. And then you are reaching out to your deployment techniques. This is all says that how data collection from a different sources, how the data mining can happen, and using the statistical tools, how you can reach for the deployment technology. Some predictive models will be using to make this analyzation or a predictive analytics. Ideally, these techniques are widely used. They are linear regression, logistic regression, multinomial logistic regression, time series models, survival analysis, classification and regression trees, decision trees, multivariate adaptive regression splines. See, linear regression, already we know that since you are all background of mathematics and statistics, I think you all have already studied the regression. Regression is nothing but what estimates a relationship among the variables. In a linear regression, one independent variable is used to examine and predict the value of the another variable. Suppose if X value is known, then you can predict the value of Y. Similarly, if Y is known, you can predict the value of X. So here we are using two measurement variables. Coming to logistic regression is almost identical to linear regression. However, in the linear regression, we are using two measurement variables. In the logistic regression, we are using one measurement variable and one nominal variable. Next one is a multinomial logistic regression. In practical, it is identical to logistic regression, except that you have a multiple possible outcomes instead of just one. Next model is time series models. In this model, we display values against time because time series data is time stamped and collected over time at a particular intervals, like sales in a month, then calls per day, you can say, and web visits per hour, etc. We can make a list in the time series model. And the next model we are using is survival analysis, a model for time until a certain event, but that certain event is sometimes but not always death. Then classification and regression tree, we may call it as a CART, we call the machine learning procedures for making predictions model from data. Then moving on to the next model, that is decision trees. A decision tree looks like a tree with each branch representing a choice between a number of alternatives and each leaf representing a classification or decision. For example, you may want to choose between manufacturing item A or item B, or investing choice 1, choice 2, or choice 3. Decision trees are popular because they are very easy to understand and interpret. Then finally, we are using multivariate adaptive regression splines. It is an important tool for modeling high dimensional data. These are all very easy models which we can use to get the predictive analytics. See, applications of predictive modeling. We are listing out some of the applications here. The application is very vast area relating to predictive modeling or predictive analytics is concerned. But because of the time constraints, I have listed out a few of them, which is very, very important in the business and in the industry. First one application, the vast application where we can use this predictive modeling is the retail marketing. Retail marketing, see, many of the retails, as I said, Decathlon is there and Big Bazaar is there, Lifestyle Store is there, West Side. So if you list, many of them will be there. And the most popular one I take here is, you ever wonder how Amazon displays products you make like on your return visit to their online store. I think you all have experienced this. It is because the store uses machine learning to track your previous interaction, learn your preferences, and purchase behavior from it. Based on these insights, the store customizes and personalizes your next visit with recommendation. See, this I think almost all the students have witnessed this. Whenever we are watching some movies on Amazon Prime Video, suppose if I watch any regional movie, Kannada, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam movies, and next when you want to watch any movie, I think have you noticed that they will suggest you a list of movies because they are observing your behavior. That's all from the machine learning. When you buy any one item, immediately some related to that item, you can buy, they recommend you, immediately it appears on your screen. When this is all because of the predictive analytics. So based on this, they will be recommending you so that they can get a more business, more customers can buy. So like that, they'll be observing our previous interaction with them. And based upon that, they will be suggesting, they will be in touch with all whatever we are showing. If you search some curiosity, you search some of the product, immediately related to that product, 100 products, they will suggest you. This is what is happening from the predictive modeling. Next very important application is healthcare. So nowadays, all have read, you are using everyday newspaper, what is happening because of this COVID case, how the hospital people are suffering, and how much requirement is there for the bed for the patients, and also for the ventilation. We are all seeing the news, right? So this is one of the biggest challenge for us, what pandemic COVID-19 we are going through. So what it helps here, healthcare organization can also achieve an optimal patient to staff ratio with the predictive analytics. Such solutions help hospitals and healthcare institutions to plan how many staff members should be located in given facility by using historical data and seasonal sickness pattern. Means what, how it works. See, what we have seen in many hospitals or health care centers, we will look at one major problem that any shift manager faces. What he will face always, how many people do I put staff at any given time period? If you put too many workers, you run the risk of having unnecessary labor cost add up. Or if you reduce the number of staff, too few workers you have, then poor customer service, and the patients will start complaining, there is no doctor, there is no staff, and we have to wait hours together, there is a big queue. All that such complaints they will write in the book, or they complain to the higher authorities. So predictive analytics gives information how many patients can be expected to be at each hospital. It gives a forecast, visit and admission rates for the next 15 days. Extra staff can be drafted in when high number of visitors are expected, leading to reduce waiting time for the patient and better quality of the care you can give for the patients. And next major application is forecasting patterns in weather. See, forecasting gives from the predictive analytics, everybody knows. Today, weather forecasts are widely more accurate than they were used to be happen in 40 years ago. You can thank the predictive analytics now for this by analyzing weather patterns using satellite imagery and historical data. We can see accurate estimates of weather forecast up to 30 days in advance. Not only this predictive analytics not only help for the forecasting the weather, even also for the global warming. More importantly, in this information can also be used to help us to understand impacts of global warming. For example, predictive models paired with the data visualization can show us rising sea and the carbon dioxide level, and where this level may be headed after results are interrupted. Action can be taken to mitigate adverse effects. So these are the major applications where we can see, and some more are there, these applications of the predictive modelings. Moving on to fraud detection. This fraud detection is very, very common. Everywhere we cannot control that the criminal behavior. How to protect this? How to control this? Detecting fraud, combining multiple analytics method can improve pattern detection and prevent criminal behavior. As a cyber security becomes a growing concern, high performance behavior analytic examples, all actions can a network in a real time to spot abnormalities that may indicate fraud. Zero-day vulnerabilities and advanced persistent threats. See, all this, see, whenever they're giving us a prepaid service and all, before, they never used to ask about any of the information, personal information. Just they used to give the connection. But now the case is not like that. Because of the predictive analytics, predictive modeling, they're compulsorily asking the Aadhaar card, each one of the person who is going for the new connection, they have to submit this Aadhaar card so that you can reduce, you can prevent some criminal behavior. Fraud can be controlled. So this is also main application part from the predictive modeling. Moving on to the application part in the industry, how industry applications will work. See, predictive modeling are used in the insurance sector, banking, marketing, financial service, telecommunication, retail management, travel, healthcare, oil, gas, and other industries. Not only in the industry, not only in the any business, not only in the private sectors, even government is the major user of this predictive modeling. Government use predictive analytics like many other industry to improve the service and performance, detect and prevent the fraud from this predictive modeling, better understanding consumer behavior. Predictive analysis is to enhance cyber security. They can control the cyber security. So even in a government, they are making use of this predictive modeling. So particularly coming to the predictive modeling in retail industry. See, campaign response model. This model predicts the likelihood that the customer responds to specific campaign by purchasing the products solicited in campaign. The model also predicts the amount of purchase given response. See, which all the model can be used in the retail industry. Again, the simple application which is having regression models we can use, customer segmentation, it's grouping of the customers, cross-sell, upsell, new product recommendation. Any of the new product is there, then how to promote that new product we are using for that. Then the major issue is customer retention, means you have to reduce the customer churn. Then inventory management. This all the models we can use in the retail industry. Here, I have taken a particular case study for a predictive models in particularly telecom industry. See, in the telecom industry, which all the predictive models we are using, only concerned to telecom industry, I have taken a case study here. The campaign analytics. What is this campaign analytics? Based on historical data and the customer profile, it is possible classify customers according to their likelihood of buying a product or a service through a campaign. Thus, every campaign can target the set of customers with better purchasing potential for that service or a product, while these statistics-driven campaigns yield higher ROI, return of investment. They also reduce the irritation caused by non-relevant communication, thereby indirectly reducing customer dissonance. So what is this campaign analytics? See, when suppose I will take a simple example so that you people can easily go through this campaign analytics. Suppose a Jio company, everybody knows. Suppose a Jio company is offering some plan for a prepaid customers, then they have to select the customer profile relating to youths, especially students. Because usually what happens, the prepaid, the business people or some working people, high professional people, usually they will not prefer this prepaid. the youths and the student sectors usually go for the prepaid, the students community. Then simply unnecessary, you are making a plan, the prepaid plan, and going and meeting other people and explaining, irritating them. That all you can avoid through this campaign analytics, so that you can maintain, reduce a customer dissonance. You can meet the particular people, the youth or students, with your model, which can hit the target and they can achieve 100% target through this campaign analytics. Because usually even I have experienced that always some banks will call, Axis Bank, HSBC, take a credit card, take credit card. We are telling we are not requiring the credit card, but still you get many times call. This offer is good, that offer is, it irritates, right? So you should target wherever, when you are making a campaign analytics, you should target the people where that model will suit for that particular sector of people. Then it workouts more. Then we are moving on to the next predictive model in the telecom industry is churn modeling. The customers leaving the current company and moving to another telecom company are called churn. And it can be reduced by analyzing the past history of the potential customers systematically. How this can happen, the simple example. In this modeling, we have to identify potential customers and reduce churn from one company to another company. We saw what happened when Jio company came newly. All have witnessed this. Then many of the Airtel customers also used to change for Jio because Jio was giving so many free offers. So they will leave Airtel and they go for the Jio company. So what you have to do to retain your current customers, make some better offer so that you can reduce the customer churn from one company to another company to avoid the churn. And next predictive modeling in the telecom industry is cross-selling and upselling. A very real challenge in the telecom industry is how to increase yield from the current subscribers, or how to improve average revenue per user, ARPU we call. Cross-selling and upselling activities can now be supported by predictive analytics while drawing an association rules and transaction histories. Analytics-driven cross-selling and upselling campaigns provide remarkably higher results. See, for this cross-selling and upselling, I will give you a very, very simple example which we go through in our daily life. See, I have an only call connection, and sometimes the people, Airtel people will call me, and I am making a 500 rupees per month bill, and they will request me, madam, why don't you go for 3G data connection along with your Airtel connection? So bill can come as 700 rupees. So 200 will be increased in that. So I say it's okay. Along with my phone connection, I may get my data also with that 200 rupees, 700 rupees. It's okay. I'll see. This is the way they do cross-selling. And then upselling, how they do. After some times, I may get a call that, madam, we have come up with a new data that is a 4G data, which is very, very fast and no interruption will be there. It's a better quality. Why don't you go and the bill will be coming to 1000 rupees. I feel it's okay because 700 I'm already paying. Another 300,000 rupees I have to pay. Why can't I go? Instead of 3G is always slow and anytime a data problem will be coming. So why can't I go for that? So I'll update. I'll take with instead of a 3G data, I'll go for the 4G. This is how they do the upselling marketing. So cross-selling and upselling, this predictive model helps in this way for them. The next model, what in the telecom industry we are using is customer lifetime value analytics. See, customer lifetime value model provides the predictive yield from each customer over the customer life cycle. High priority customers can be given loyalty bonus, yes, and professional treatment through personalized service, better credit norms for a contact subscribers, etc. This analytics model may be utilized across all the functions like marketing, credit risk, consumer service, and so on. See, customer lifetime value analytics, nowadays, they take care personally for a long time customers. Especially, I am having my personal opinion. I'm a using of a Airtel customer from many years I'm using. So as I get a long time customer, so they give me the offer that Amazon Prime Video will be free for me for 1 month. And any network issue if I face, if I make a call, immediately they will react, and they will take personally, they'll assign a particular person. Within a few hours, they will come and rectify your any network issues there. This is how you have to maintain your customer lifetime valuable. You have to retain your long-time customers. So this model will help in that way. And next, moving on to the customer segmentation. See, customers are segmented both at the pre-subscription and subscription phases. At the first stage, segmentation helps reach out to prospects with the high predict conversion rates, thereby increasing campaign success rate as well as ROI, that is return of investment. During campaigns, subscribers are divided into segments to which specific campaigns are targeted. What is this segmentation? This model will help to reach out right people. Suppose urban and rural area requirement will be different accordingly. They can make a predictive modeling. See, one is making a model for urban areas will not be helpful, which you are going and advertising in the rural areas. Their requirement will be different. See, Bangalore students, what they have a data requirement, I cannot give the same model nearby Kolar or a small town, small village. I cannot give the same model there. Their requirement will be different. So it is based on the customer segmentation. You have to prepare a model and then you have to go for it. And the next model we are coming up for marketing spend optimization. A marketing spend optimization model helps marketing managers and the product managers take decisions based on what works and what does not. This analytics model has been considerable benefit to the marketing function and is hence widely used to improve marketing return on investment. See here what happens, the marketing spend optimization, you have to think and then you have to make your model. The simple example, the Jio company is planning coming with a new package for a 5 GB at the rate of 2,000 rupees per month. For example, I'm telling, I don't know exactly how much amount they will charge for, on an average, I'm telling, for a 5G, if they're giving 2,000 rupees per month. Now for this marketing manager and the product manager will plan, and they have to decide this package will work for whom and this package will not work for whom. Based on that, they have to prepare a model. Then coming to the fraud analytics. See, data analytics, data synthesis can help telecom service providers navigate their complex organization structures and target and collect relevant fraud data when need arises. Means what? Provide a future-proof detection techniques, guard against habitual offenders, ensure that prepaid service is truly risk-free, launch profitable IP-based services. So this all in the fraud analytics we have to take care in this model. See, before this prepaid package, the company will not ask any document. So many frauds used to take place, but now you can avoid all types of frauds. They are asking now compulsorily Aadhaar card and other documents so that the fraud analytics model will control all types of the frauds. Next, moving on to the network optimization. Network management possibly be the most complex operation in a telecom company, because we have already heard many of the customers, network is not good, network is always busy, I'm not getting the today's this program also we had some problem like that. Always network issue will be there. That is the main possible, the most complex operation in the telecom company. The size of the investment decisions and the cost of a failure in terms of customer prescription. Predictive analytics help forecast traffic patterns and the peak period routing, and thus if immense benefit in this smooth running of network operations. Analytics can ensure that network operations are run as proactively and scientifically, taking the cognizant to the patterns. So here, in the network optimization, in this predictive analytics model helps them to increase the bandwidth, then tower based on the connections, so they can avoid network issues and they should see the peak hours. They can identify and take decision to avoid data traffic. Next, coming to the price optimization. This is also a very challenging model. Price optimization contributes significantly to revenue development and the profitable, and is especially important in the corporate sales segment, where awareness of the impact of various pricing options offered in critical simulated scenarios can help to evaluate the revenues and various price points. These models are widely used by product managers and finance teams. See here one simple example I'll quote for price optimization. It's like always what we discuss, always it's like chicken and egg need each other. Just like that relationship between demand and the price, and how they cannot the two work together. It becomes a question of which first came, demand or a price. When you can control both very intentionally, you bring a huge value multiplier to the demand management process. And the next model, last model is a sales territory optimization. See, optimization of a sales territory is necessary to align and balance workload and the market potential. The focus of the model is usually on how to reach the market efficiently. This model is used mainly for revenue and workload allocation activities. It is also extensively used for allocation of territory for managing operations among channel, intermediator, and pre-day business units. See, sales territory optimization, as already I said, that the model helps to generate revenue according to territory, and they can plan to the location compared to urban and a rural area. Model will be different. You have to prepare your model according to whether it is requirement for the urban area or it requirement for the rural area accordingly, because both will not have a same requirement. Suppose I said how you are studying, what you are studying, based on that you will be needing the data, and less users will be there in the smaller town, and those are not working, those are not studying, that data requirement will not be so much. So based upon the territory, you have to make a model so that the sale territory optimization can happen. The sales manager, you have to see, you have to make a plan, and then you have to do this sales territory optimization. Moving on to what all softwares we can use for this predictive analytics. SAS analytics we can use, statistical analysis software. And nowadays, a very talkative, very famous software is that we can use for analytics software. That is, yes, R software. And Statistica we can use. And then IBM Predictive Analytics we can use. And then we can use a MATLAB. And then we can use a Minitab. All these softwares we can make use while making the predictive models or a predictive analytics. I think time, because of the time constraint, so I'm finishing here, winding up here. Thank you very much. So again, once again, I thank Yuvakshetra Institute of Management for giving me an opportunity to become a resource person for your 5 days national program. I thank organizing committee, and then program coordinator, especially Radhika, then Shrija, assistant coordinator, and Lintu Raj, and technical coordinators also, Stitija, Shilpa. I thank each one of you. Thank you.